people that waited in line just to share this experience of Venom, Candyman, Night of the Living Dead, The Rock, Final Destination. But I want you to know you are now entering the
Cinema
Chop Shop with a top and a pop. Boom, boom, bop.
The Cinema Chop Shop.
What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. While you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, and the subscribe button. And today I'm here with a review for Deadpool. The 2024 movie was Deadpool 3, Deadpool Wolverine, you know what it is. But this movie is directed by Sean Levy. I believe that he directed The Free Guy, which was a movie that he just did with Ryan Reynolds a couple years ago. He's also known for, I want to say, Big Fat Liar, and he's done Real Still and a couple other movies, so it was really surprising to see him get to helm this huge blockbuster that is Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, going into this movie, I was a little bit skeptical because Deadpool 2 to me wasn't really that good. I didn't like Deadpool 2 at all. So, I was hoping that maybe Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds would get some great chemistry going on, and I felt like they could probably do something right. We have Deadpool 3. Now, a quick synopsis without really giving away anything. I would kind of describe it as simply Ryan Reynolds is tasked to doing something in order to prevent his universe from being destroyed. That's about as good as it's gonna get, and he ends up teaming up with Wolverine in order to accomplish this. I'm gonna keep it that vague because I don't want to ruin nothing for nobody. Now, what I was worried about is because this is a movie that relies on getting somebody from another project or universe like Wolverine or whatever, I was worried that, it wasn't going to really be that good, because it's been a one-trick pony. We've seen this thing done before in Spider-Man. We've seen it done before in Doctor Strange. And I just felt like I've seen this done so many times, it's kind of lost its value. And I was really worried that I would kind of be eye-rolling while watching this movie. And on top of that, Ryan Reynolds' jokes, they could get a little bit repetitive. So I thought maybe, you hear one joke, you hear them all. But gladly, I was wrong. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. The shit was hilarious. Ryan Reynolds' one-liners and quick quips and things all throughout the movie, like they were perfectly timed. Everything was on point. His freaking chemistry with Hugh Jackman was incredible. Hugh Jackman was liked as hell. Like, he was a super favorite in this movie. It was interesting to see that this is going to be the new installment to the MCU, right? This is a Deadpool movie that's an installment to the MCU. I have something to say about that, but I'm not going to do it on this review because this review is a spoiler-free review. Everybody's all worried about the cameos, and I'm going to say off top, there's cameos galore. But the one thing that I really enjoyed a lot about this movie was the fourth wall breaking. The fact that all the little fourth wall breaking, all the little adult humor jokes, all the quippy one-liners, like, they kept this movie alive. It kept you on your toes. The movie was just all around enjoyable. It has a runtime of over 2 hours. It doesn't even feel like 2 hours. You really feel like you're just sitting there watching the movie. Now, here's where I will give it a little bit of criticism. You know what I'm saying? My critique of this movie is, although, and it's not a really big critique either, it's a fun movie to watch beginning to end, super entertaining. But if you're going into this looking for something a little bit more meaty, a little bit more, thought-provoking, this ain't it. Like, you don't go to these movies to watch like a articulate storyline and some great storytelling. Like, if you're going in here looking for like a Civil War type storyline, it's not gonna happen. If you're going in there looking for like a Black Panther type storyline, it's not gonna happen. This movie ain't that serious, and it's good, because that Deadpool isn't really a serious character. He's kind of like he's a gag character, but they did it to the point where, yes, he's a gag character, but at the same time, they gave him emotions, they gave him feelings, they gave you opportunities to actually care about this character, which was also done very well. Now, again, the storyline that they chose to tell, it's just simply for plot purposes. It's just to get you to point A to point B and to get you through the runtime. To me, the storyline wasn't really like a big deal. It wasn't something where I felt like it was going to build on anything. It really just was a simplistic, basic storyline. Another good thing about this movie is the music. If you're a huge music head, you're going to get some amazing musical numbers. And if you are from the 90s, like the early 90s or the late 80s, you're really going to enjoy this movie, right? Because there's music and there's certain things in this movie that you're really, really going to enjoy. I feel like this movie is more so catered towards the people that have been sticking with superhero movies since the early beginnings. I mean, since once they started coming into fruition. If you were part of that first wave superhero trend, you're really gonna like this movie. I can almost guarantee it. Outside of that, this movie's not too deep, but it's super enjoyable, and this movie has hella replay value. So I can see people going back and viewing this movie multiple times. And this movie is definitely going to make some big money. It's going to make some big money. And even just glancing around the movie theater, you see people that are older, you see people that are younger, and you even see some kids that ain't even supposed to be there. But the fact that you see kids in the room definitely means that money is going to be raked in over the weekend. So prepare for Deadpool to make a pretty big splash in the box office. I think it's going to do really well. And I feel like it's going to get really good word of mouth. I feel like people are going to talk about this movie and they're going to say how good it is, and how enjoyable it is, how entertaining it is. And people are going to definitely get up and go see that movie. Another negative aspect of it is the villain or the antagonist. I didn't really feel like the antagonist was very threatening in a way. You know, I didn't really feel like there was anything at stake. It was a pretty weak villain, in my opinion. The villain was really weak. And I mean, the storyline is a little bit simplistic, but at the same time, this is Deadpool. I'm not expecting you to give me some gladiator-esque storyline. Just kind of get me to point A to point B, keep me entertained, and I'm good. And I will say there are some amazing choreographed fight scenes in this movie. The movie did have a lot of good fighting scenes. The third act, to me, has one fight scene where I feel like it was done badly. And the reason why it was done badly is because it was overly CGI. It had way too much CGI, and it kind of took me out of the moment. I felt like it took away from it instead of adding to it, and it was super noticeable to me, like that it was CGI. I kind of was like, you know, it left a little bad taste in my mouth. I felt like they should have kind of kept going at it with the maybe it was like real but like touched up with CGI, but it looked full-blown CGI to me. That's just my opinion. The movie kind of suffers in the third act. I felt like the third act wasn't as strong as it could have been. I mean, the final moments, yes, the final moments were good, but what moves, like the third act moving into the third act, I felt like it was kind of weak, you know. But it's a funny ass movie. It's super enjoyable. I could definitely see myself going back to the theater and watching this, which is not something that I do too often. I'm not like a frequent like double up movie guy. But I can see myself doing it for this movie simply because it was just that entertaining. It was fun. So here on the Cinema Chop Shop, we grade movies in 3 ways. We either get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell, and I tell you this movie's basura, homie, stay away. Or I give it a big fat meh. It means it's más o menos, mediocre, mid, which means you go see it at your own demise. Or I say it's spared. I say it's amazing. Check it out. What are you doing? What are you doing still at home sitting on your ass? Go watch it right now. I'm going to go ahead and spare this damn movie.
He ain't earned the death. He ain't earned the death at my hands. God's only man, spared by the butcher.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. I am sparing this movie. This movie was entertaining as hell. It was fun to watch. And honestly, Ryan Reynolds did his thing. Hugh Jackman did his thing. And I can't wait to see what they have in the future. I do have questions, but that's going to be for another video simply because I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But just know that if you enjoyed the first Deadpool movie and you enjoy Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, you're guaranteed to like this movie. Even with a weak storyline, even with a weak final boss, it still gets the job done in a very enjoyable way, and it's funny as hell, and you're going to have fun watching this. So that's all I got. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Drop it in the comment section down below, and you are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you guys are having a great day, and adios, homies.
I want to play a game. Subscribe now. The choice is yours. You're now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop.